can use my MyPillow code, Loomer at MyPillow, so that she can get herself a nice pillow for her knees to place under Kevin McCarthy's desk. How about that?
She's just a bitch, right? She just really is a bitch. She says that she's spreading all this truth, but yeah, you're right. She's just spreading her legs.
Laura Loomer is another one that has relentless attacked me. Many other America First Republicans like Matt Gaetz. You find out who these people are. You find out which country they're loyal to the minute you start saying something about it, and they truly expose themselves.
Wow. Well, that ugly, long-running feud between MAGA darlings Marjorie Taylor Greene and Laura Loomer just got even uglier with accusations of lying, cheating, and meat in pants. Okay, that sounds crazy, but just bear with me as I get to the details.
Yeah, just look, guys, there's a natural urge to go, ha, they both suck, and I'm glad that they're both ripping each other apart, right? And there's certainly plenty of history that would justify that. And I get that as an instinctual response. But please don't fall into it. One person is right and the other person is wrong in this case, okay? Because it's about a specific issue.
Yes.
Right? And so you can dislike both of them for other reasons. But on this issue, don't do the lazy thing of, and they're both 100% wrong. There's a reason why Loomer's attacking her over and over and over again in the most vicious and vile ways.
They really are vicious and vile ways. Okay, so let me set this up for you so you understand what's going on. So we have to start with the most bizarre attack and Loomer's hilarious attempt to cover up her bizarre attack against Marjorie Taylor Greene, which we know about because of the fact that Loomer is currently suing Bill Maher for defamation. So she claims that Bill Maher had said that, she's sleeping with Donald Trump or might be sleeping with Donald Trump. And for that, she has decided to sue Bill Maher. And during the course of this deposition that Laura Loomer sat in for, Marjorie Taylor Greene came up. So HBO lawyer Catherine Bolger brought up some offensive tweets that Loomer had sent in the past, including attacks that she made against Marjorie Taylor Greene. So in September of 2024, during a blowout fight between the two women, Loomer went after Greene for her alleged affair and wrote that she had Arby's in her pants. Which if you don't know, and I didn't know, is a crude way of attacking a woman as being too promiscuous or loose. Anyway, okay.
All right.
We're not gonna get into it. You either get it or you don't. Okay, so we're moving on.
So I didn't know it either, by the way. But so the way that she denied it was absurd.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna get into now. So here's how the exchange went between Loomer and the HBO lawyer, okay? So Bolger says, can you explain to me what it means to say to her that the Arby's in her pants? Okay, so Larry Klayman, who's Laura Loomer's attorney, responds with objection, relevancy. Bolger says, answer the question. Loomer says, Arby's sells roast beef. At that point, Bolger, again, the HBO lawyer, says, right, can you tell me why were you talking about Arby's in her pants? Loomer says, well, it's just an expression. Bolger says, what is the expression trying to convey? Loomer says, it conveys the reason why she got a divorce by her own admission. Bolger says, because she had roast beef in her pants? Loomer says, yeah. Bolger says, she'd put roast beef in her pants? That's what you're trying to say there? You're literally saying she put Arby's in her pants. And Loomer says, I'm saying she literally, it's so ridiculous. I'm saying she literally put Arby's in her pants, yes. At that point, Loomer is laughing according to the court record. And then Bolger says, so what is your basis for saying she had Arby's in her pants? Loomer says, because I know she likes to eat at Arby's. Bolger says, and she likes to put it in her pants? You know that? Loomer says, yeah. Bolger says, okay, if I ask Marjorie Taylor Greene, she would tell you that she puts Arby's in her pants? Loomer says, it's my best belief that she would tell you that, yes.
No, she wouldn't. Okay, so guys, if you're trying to figure out what in the world is going on here, okay? Laura Loomer keeps saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene is a loose woman, okay? And she says it in 100 different ways. We've got more of that coming.
In fact, right after the deposition, she then goes on X to say this, tweeting to Marjorie Taylor Greene, how does it feel to eat at Arby's every day?
Yeah, so now, okay, That's the Arby's reference is the same thing as loose woman, okay? For reasons you might be able to deduce. Okay, so but the reason why Bolger, the attorney, is trying to get her to admit that, and why Loomer is obviously lying about what she really intends, is because she's saying, "Can you believe that Bill Maher said I'm a loose woman?" And so Bill Maher's lawyer is saying, wait, don't you say that about other people with no evidence at all the time?
Right.
Right? So she doesn't want to admit that, so she just lies on the stand and goes, oh no, I did not make that reference, that is an internet meme. I meant she literally takes an Arby sandwich and puts it in her pants. Now, of course, everybody knows you're lying, right? So, but for Loomer, lying is Tuesday. So when she's talking, she's lying. So to her, that doesn't bother her conscience, or it's illegal, but who cares? She doesn't care about any of that.
Loomer hates Marjorie Taylor Greene because Marjorie Taylor Greene has been speaking out, about the foreign influence of our members of Congress. She has a sign outside of her door letting foreign lobbyists know, or individuals representing foreign countries like Israel know, don't come to my office. I'm not taking bribes from you. I'm not interested. I'm America first. Well, that offends the sensibilities of someone who is like a hardcore Zionist, like Laura Loomer, who loves the Israel lobby, loves the influence that the Israel lobby has over our members of Congress, and has basically tried to make Representative Greene some sort of pariah on the issue that she actually happens to be very good on, right on. She actually wants to reject that kind of influence, and I commend her for it. So let's talk about the attacks from just yesterday, recent attacks. Believe it or not, there is much more to this feud, which continued on X. So Loomer is, again, a big defender of Israel and hasn't taken too kindly to Marjorie Taylor Greene's vocal criticisms of AIPAC's influence. And so Loomer said, well, I have no love for AIPAC. Sure you don't. She's such a liar, it's amazing.
What an unbelievable liar.
It's so funny watching Marjorie Greene come out and say she is going on an anti-pro-Israel crusade. When I was running for Congress, she begged me to write a letter for her saying she supports the Jews after she made her Jewish space lasers comment. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene constantly asked me to introduce her to Jewish donors. Hilarious. I'm going to go through her FEC and show all the receipts. There is no genocide in Gaza. So that's how you know she's like a liar, right? Like automatically you're a liar. Really, there's no genocide happening in Gaza, okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene is just angry. She was iced out by the White House, so she wants to create drama for the Trump administration. She also repeatedly referred to Greene as a whore, literally. And then on Monday morning, Greene posted a screenshot showing that Loomer had blocked her on X and wrote, of course, what a coward. She even went so far as to question who's funding Laura.
Good question.
Yeah, seriously. Many people are asking who or what government or what intelligence agency has bankrolled the twice failed congressional candidate Laura Loomer all these years, because she has never had a real job. She is not legally allowed to own a gun, and she spends 100% of her time trying to funnel her lies and manipulated propaganda to the president of the United States. Many people need to wake up about her reporting. Researching facts and then spinning them into lies to serve her agenda doesn't make her good or trustworthy. It makes her a liar and it makes her dangerous. Later, she called her the most unstable and worst liability to ever walk into the Oval Office. And just for good measure, Laura Loomer did clap back once again. These are just two tiny snippets of her extensive attacks over the past few days. She says, you are trying to accuse me of being an Israeli agent with zero evidence because you have become so consumed by your hatred of Jews. Everyone can see it. There's no evidence of her. I have not seen anything from Marjorie Taylor Greene in her time of office indicating that she hates the Jews. No anti-Semitic statement. Literally the only thing I've heard her say is that she has a problem with the Israel lobby's influence on our members of Congress. She doesn't want to go to war with Iran on behalf of Israel. She's been vocal about that as well. I mean, it's very nice to see that level of sanity from a member of Congress. What's disturbing is that it's coming from a Republican member of Congress. You don't hear that same commentary coming from Democrats right now. And that's what really disturbs me. But anyway, go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, so on our website, tyt.com, we asked who's right in this fight, Laura Loomer, Marjorie Taylor Greene, or neither. I think the answer is definitely Marjorie Taylor Greene. This fight has nothing to do with Arby's or any personal drama or any of that. I'm glad to see Marjorie Taylor Greene's winning. 0% believe that it's Laura Loomer, correct. And this fight is nothing but Israel. That's what all of it is about. Laura Loomer doesn't care about any other issue but Israel. That's what the only thing she's obsessed about. The press almost actively lies on her behalf. They say she's fighting neocons in the administration. That is the exact opposite of the truth. She's trying to take out America First guys. They're all right wingers, right? But she's trying to take out America First guys and put in Israeli First guys. And so she's an Israeli firster through and through. All of her propaganda is on behalf of a foreign government. I have no idea if she's being paid or not. She just might be. Look, if you are doing propaganda on behalf of Israel, the press will lift you up. They'll start right. I mean, she's a bona fide lunatic. She's
the Free Press might be bought for $250 million by CBS, specifically because they want the pro-Israel bias.
They said it.
They said it.
The guy buying it said he's way overpaying, like unbelievably overpaying.
Yeah, good.
Because
get shafted.
Okay,
nice.
no, because they're trying to send a message. If you're pro-Israel, you'll get a ton of money. If you're not pro-Israel, well, then you're going to be in trouble, right? So Laura Loomer, who's proudly declared that she's a white nationalist, now, like all of the mainstream media, totally amnesia, forgot about it completely. And they're all like, Laura Loomer, Laura Loomer, Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer says it's about Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's a real problem for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene is the real problem here. Is she? Is she? Look, last thing is, the one part that sounded slightly believable is when she said, well, Marjorie Taylor Greene had asked me to say that, the Jewish space laser thing is that it's not something you should be worried about if you're Jewish, et cetera, and can you introduce me to Jewish donors? Okay, but let's say that that's true for a second. But now apparently Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying, no, I'm going to represent America even if it costs me Jewish donors. Well, that seems to be an action based on principle. And she's even willing to take on the Trump administration because Trump is catering to donors on Israel too much. Whether you agree with her or not overall, that sounds like America first.
Yeah.
And when Laura Loomer says we should do everything in our power to help Israel, well, by definition, that sounds like Israel first. So if you want to know who's right and wrong on this issue, it's not close. Laura Loomer is not interested in helping this country. She's interested in helping a different country. And we could disagree about how Marjorie Taylor Greene helps this country in other ways, but in this case, she's saying, no, we should represent Americans, and she's absolutely right about that. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.